大家好，我是菲菲老师。Welcome back to Miffy Chinese. Today we'll enter lesson 4. Before we dive in, my ultimate HSK companion workbook is available in the description below. Get your copy today and help you get the best results of your study. Okay, let's go. First of all, let's see the objectives of this lesson. First, we will ask about past experiences, and then we will learn how to refer to things through description. And then we will learn a sentence structure, the causal complex sentence. So we will learn how to say because and so, right? Okay, are you ready? Let's go. First of all, let's see the first text. You can read after me. 妈妈，我们来过这家商场吗？没来过，这是新开的。我们进去看看吧。好啊，你想买点什么？我想买条裤子，没问题。Okay, as usual, I have two questions for you. First one, 王一雪和刘小雪要去哪儿看看 ？A. 商场 B. 超市 C. 学校 Second one, 刘小雪为什么要进去看看？A. 想买条裤子 B. 妈妈让她进去 C. 想给妈妈买衣服 Okay, let's hear the text again and you can pause to make the choices, right? Okay, let's go. 妈妈，我们来过这家商场吗？没来过，这是新开的。我们进去看看吧。好啊，你想买点什么？我想买条裤子，没问题。All right, okay, did you get it? So first one, 王一雪和刘小雪要去哪儿看看 ？Where, right? Where? So we see 商场 right? 商场 the new word in this lesson, but from the original word, right? We can guess should be a 商场 right? Okay, very good. Second one, 刘小雪为什么要进去看看？为什么 right? Why? And then she wants to go inside, right? 进去看看。Okay, so she wants to 我想买条裤子。我想 I want to 买 we learned it before, right? It means to buy, right? To buy 买条裤子 So 裤子 it means a pair of pants, right? 条 is the measure word here. So she wants to A 买条裤子 right? So we choose A and A. Did you get it right? Okay, let's see the vocabulary of this lesson, of this text. You can read after me. 过商场进去条裤子 So here 进去 you can see both of them are fourth tone, right? But in daily conversation, in everyday language, sometimes we also read it as neutral tone, right? The second 汉字 we can also say 进去 neutral tone. Okay, let's see. First one, 过 right? The definition is used after a verb to indicate a past action or state. Right, so we have learned something similar before, right? Do you still remember? If you want to say an action has been completed, an action has happened in the past, you can say, do you still remember? The 汉字了 right? 了 it can mean either first, change of status, right? Second, the action has been completed, the action has been happened in the future. In the past, sorry, right? Okay, so what's the difference between this 过 and then 了? Let's save it for now, and then let's talk about it in detail in the language point of this text, right? So let's skip this for now. Okay, let's see the next word. 商场, we see it in the text, right? 商场. It means department store, or it means mall, right? Let's call it in a more modern way, mall, right? Go to the mall, 去商场. Go to the mall, 去商场. 妈妈去商场买了衣服. Mom went to the mall or department store to buy clothes, right? Okay, 这个商场很大，东西很多。This mall is very big. It has a lot of things. 东西很多 things, right? 东西。Okay, very good. Next word, 进去 to get inside, right? Get in, get inside, 进去。For example, 走进去 right? Walk inside. The sheep are walking inside. 小羊 right? 羊 the sheep, the lamb 小羊走进去 right? Walk inside. You can also, of course, you can also say 跑进去 right? 跑进去 Run inside also works. 跑 to run. 他走进去了 He went inside, right? We say 了 means that the action has been completed. It has happened in the past. So he walked inside. Sorry, he walked inside, right? Okay, and then 我们进去吧 right? 吧 what does 吧 mean? A soft tone of suggestions, right? So shall we go in? 我们进去吧 let's go in, let's get inside, right? This meaning. So we have 进去. Then we already learned go out. Go out or get out. How do we say it? Do you still remember? 出来 right? 出来 Get out, go out, right? Get outside. 出来进去出来 You can remember these two in a pair, right? Okay, very good. 出来 And then next one, 条 right? 条 measure word for long, narrow, or thin things. Right? So, for example, 一条裤子 here we consider as something long, right? Something long. So, 一条裤子 But here also, if you're talking about short pants, also it's 条, right? So for anything like pants, also skirts, right? Dress, 一条 And then for here, 鱼 fish, 鱼 second tone, 鱼 actually in pinyin you should type V, right? If you want to type 鱼 with the English keyboard, you type Y and V, because V on the keyboard represents the pinyin with like 鱼, right? 鱼 with two dots, right? Okay, 鱼两条鱼, right? Because we also consider fish as something narrow and long, right? So 两条鱼 two fishes, right? 条 Okay, and then we have actually seen 条 before. Do you still remember which word? 面条 right? 面条 What does 面条 mean? 面条 noodle, right? Noodle 面条 So 面 actually the literal meaning of 面 is flour. And then 条 So something long and narrow and thin that you made of flour is noodle. Right? Noodle. Okay, very good. Next, 这条裤子多少钱？多少钱 What is 多少钱 How much? How much money? 多少钱 So, what, like how much is this pair of pants? Right? 这条裤子多少钱？妈妈买了两条鱼 Mom has bought two fishes. 两条鱼 two fishes. Okay, very good. And then we see 裤子 right? 裤子 pants, trousers, 裤子穿裤子穿 the verb to wear something or put on something, like 穿衣服 right? We learned before 穿衣服 and then we can also say 穿裤子 right? So put on clothes, here put on pants, right? 一条裤子 a pair of pants. 我和妈妈去商场买了裤子 right? Me and mom, we went to the mall to buy pants, right? Pants. I like this pair of pants. 我喜欢这条裤子 I like this pair of pants. Okay, 裤子 very good. And then let's see the language point that we mentioned before, but we skipped. So now let's talk about it. The aspect particle 过 right? 过 you don't need to like really memorize what is aspect particle. More importantly is we remember how to use 过 in practical sentences, right? Okay, so first, let's still see the definition from the textbook. The aspect particle 过 is used after a verb to indicate that an action occurred in the past but has not continued to the present. Right? Okay, so in a word, really short, an action occurred in the past, right? That's the important message in this sentence. Action occurred in the past. So let's see the basic structure first. Subject plus verb plus 过 plus object. So really easy. If we ignore 过 for now, it's just subject, verb, object, right? The most common sentence structure. So here, 过, we just put it right after the verb. Right? Subject, verb, right after verb, 过, and then object. Right? And then, so for example, let's see an example. 他去过中国. Right? 他 subject, 去 to go, verb, and then immediately 过 and then object 中国. So 他去过中国. She has been to China. She has been to China. All right. Okay, let's see one more. The negative form is formed by adding 没 or 没有. So 有 optional 没 or 没有 before the verb. Right? For example, 他没去过中国. So this sentence 他去过中国, we just add exactly the 过 the 没 or 没有 before the verb. So 他没去过中国. Or you can say 他没有去过中国. Right? These two are the same. 他没去过中国, 他没有去过中国. Right? Okay. Also, 我吃过饺子，很好吃. I have eaten 饺子 or I have eaten 饺子 before. It's very delicious. 很好吃, right? So how do we change the second sentence into a negative form? Can you try? 我吃过饺子，很好吃. So to change it into a negative form, we just add 没 or 没有 right before the verb. So 我没吃过饺子, right? So probably you will change this into 不知道好不好吃. Right? I don't know if it's delicious or not. And then 我没有, right? 有 optional. 我没有吃过饺子. Right? 我没有吃过饺子. Okay, so let's see if we want to ask questions using 过. How should we say it? We have 3 forms which they are basically the same, so you can use either of them. So I would suggest you need to understand 3 of them. Like when someone say this sentence structure to you, you will have to understand what do they mean. But for usage, right? For simplicity, you can pick one, right? Either one of these that you prefer, and then you remember that. And then at the beginning stage, you use that, right? You stick to that structure, right? Because if you try to memorize all of these 3 and then you want to use all of these 3, may be a little bit too much, maybe a bit confusing. But at least when someone say this to you, you understand it, right? Okay, so let's see. First one, add 妈 at the end of the sentence. So directly add 妈 at the end of the sentence. 我们来过这家商场. If it's just a statement, right? With a period, and it's like this. But if we want to ask a question, we just directly add 妈 at the end of the sentence. It becomes 我们来过这家商场吗? Right? Have we been to this mall? Right? Have we been to this mall? Okay, and then second one, we add 没有 at the end of the sentence. So instead of 吗, we add directly 没有 at the end of the sentence. Like 陈天中吃过饺子没有? Right? 吃过饺子没有? 陈天中吃过饺子没有? And interchangeable with 陈天中吃过饺子吗? Right? These two exactly the same. Okay, and then third one, use the verb plus 没 plus verb and 过 structure. So this is a bit more complex, right? So for example, 你看没看过? 那个电影？你看没看过 ？So here 看没看过 is exactly the structure here. Verb 看 plus 没 plus the verb again, the same verb again, and then plus 过 right? 你看没看过那个电影？ So how about the second one? If we want to change it into the third form, how do we do it? The second sentence. Okay, so 陈天中吃没吃过 right? 吃没吃过饺子 but then we have to delete the 没有 at the end, right? So 陈天中吃没吃过饺子 right? Okay, so these are the three forms if we want to ask questions about 过 right? Okay, so now let's talk about the important question. What is the difference between 了 and 过? Right? We say that so 了 first means change of status. And then we also say that it means something happened in the past, right? The action has been completed. So let's see what's the difference. If you say 了, for example, 我去了北京，我去了北京. So mostly you can translate it into I went to Beijing. I went to Beijing. 我去了北京. Right? So most likely you're talking about a single event. You're simply talking about something that has happened. For example, like 去年我去了北京. I went to Beijing last year. You're simply talking about this single event that you go to Beijing. But if we change the sentence into 我去过北京, then most likely you will translate it into I have been to Beijing. I have been to Beijing. So here, what is emphasized is that it is a life experience. It might be something that happened for the first time in your life. You're talking about in your life, you have done this. 我去过北京, right? So maybe someone asks you, have you been to China? And then you can say, yes, 我去过北京. I've been to China. I've been to Beijing, right? Okay, let's see in the text, how did we use this 过, right? 妈妈，我们来过这家商场吗？ Right? 我们来过吗? So the daughter is asking, have we ever been to this mall? Right? Because if you have been here, you will not use 我们来过, right? Because 来过, it means when you're asking this, it means that, and then when you say 没来过, it means that you have never been here before, right? So it implies more. This is something that happened in your life for the first time. It's a life experience, right? Okay, but this is not absolute, right? So the meaning I'm telling you is more formal, is more in the textbook. So sometimes in daily conversation, you will also hear people say 过, just meaning in like normal event. For example, like some places people would say 吃过饭了吗? 吃过饭了吗? Like 吃过饭了吗? So it doesn't mean that they're asking you, have you ever eaten in your life, right? They're still just asking, have you eat, right? And single events happened in the past. Have you eat? Have you eat lunch? 你吃过饭了吗? But it doesn't necessarily happen like for everyone. It's more like a language habit. For some provinces, maybe. For some people, maybe. So still remember, for 过, it implies an experience in your life, right? 去过北京, have been to Beijing. 来过这家商场, have been to this mall, right? Okay, that's 过. Did you get it? Okay, very good. So that's everything for text 1. Now let's move into text 2. As usual, you can read after me. All right, okay. 妈妈，我想买这条白色的裤子。你有很多白色的衣服。为什么还买白色的？因为我喜欢白色啊。我觉得这条白色的不太好看，你试试那条红色的吧。我没穿过红色的，红色的好看吗？ 就是因为没穿过，所以要试试啊。Okay, it's a bit long, right? Okay, as usual, 2 questions for you. 刘小雪想买什么 ？A. 白色的衣服 B. 红色的衣服 C. 白色的裤子 Okay, second one. 王一雪让刘小雪试试什么 ？A. 白色的衣服 B. 红色的衣服 C. 红色的裤子 Right? Okay, so all of these answers seem quite similar, right? So let's listen to the text again and you can make your choices. 妈妈，我想买这条白色的裤子。你有很多白色的衣服，为什么还买白色的？因为我喜欢白色啊。我觉得这条白色的不太好看，你试试那条红色的吧。我没穿过红色的，红色的好看吗？就是因为没穿过，所以要试试啊。Okay, let's see. So, 刘小雪想买什么 ？She wants to buy, right? What does she want to buy? Let's see. 我想买这条白色的裤子 right? So the original text, 白色的裤子 right? You choose option C. And then 王一雪让刘小雪试试什么？试试 to try. 试试什么？哎，你试试那条红色的吧。Right? So even here, it didn't mention 红色的 what, right? But because from the text before, we know that they were talking about pants, right? So 红色的裤子，红色的裤子 C, right? So C and C. Okay, very good. Let's see the new words. You can read after me. 白色，白色，因为，因为，是，是，红色，红色，所以，所以。Okay, let's see. First one, 白色，色。So 色 means, let's see 色 first. 色, fourth tone, it means color, right? In general, the concept of color. And then we just add the name of each color before 色. So you're talking about the name of a color. For example, 白, 白, it means white. But generally when we are saying the name of a color, we would add 色. So 白色. The literal meaning would be white collar, actually, white collar. But it just means white in daily language. Like, 你喜欢白色吗? Do you like white? Do you like the color of white? 我不喜欢白色的书包. The here, we know that the, 2 meanings. First, to express possession, right? Something belongs to something or someone. And second meaning, descriptions, right? So 白色 here is an adjective. So we use 白色 to describe 书包, 书包, backpack. So 白色的书包. I don't like white backpacks. Backpacks. Okay, very good. And then next one, 因为, 因为, it means because. So here, 因为, 所以, this is actually the exactly the language point we're going to talk about. We will learn how to say causal effect sentences, right? So because and so. Let's read it quick and then we will explain it in detail later in the language point. 我不去游泳，因为我很累。I don't go to swim because I'm very 很累. What is 累? Still remember? 累 tired, right? Because I'm very tired. 她没去学校，因为她生病了。She didn't go to the school because 因为 because she was sick, right? 生病 we learned before, right? 生病 was sick. Okay, next one 是是 this verb means to try, right? 是 for example 试试 we know that when 2 verbs are repeated, we know that it means a short attempt, a brief action, right? So 试试 this is a brief action, right? You're just trying something on really fast. 试试试试吧 for example. 试试吧 ，right? Try it on. 我想试试这条红色的裤子。I want to try this pair of red pants. 哎，这件衣服很好看，去试试吧。This cloth is very good. It's very good looking. It's very nice. Go try it on. Right? 去试试吧。A suggestion. Okay, very good. 是。And then earlier we learned white. Right? How to say white? 白色, 白色. So now we've learned how to say the color of red, red. 红色, 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 red. 这件红色的衣服很漂亮. Again, the, right, to describe things. 这件 is the measure word for clothes, right? 这件红色的衣服很漂亮 is very pretty, right? 很漂亮。我不喜欢红色的书包。I don't like red backpacks. Okay, I guess he doesn't like any color of backpacks. He doesn't like red and like white. Okay, so 红色，and then 所以 same. It means so and therefore. So let's see this in language point later together, right? Okay, now causal complex sentence. 因为所以The structure 因为所以 forms a complex sentence expressing cause and effect. 因为 and 所以 can be used either together as a pair or individually. So literally 因为 means because, 所以 means so. So for example, 就是因为没穿过，所以要试试啊。So this is the exact original sentence from the text, right? So 就是 do you still remember? 就是 exactly, right? Exactly. So exactly because I have never tried it before, I have never wore it before. So I will try it on, right? Because and so. So here, first sentence is when you have together as a pair, right? This is an example of them together as a pair. And then second one, 因为我生病了，今天没去上班. How do we translate this one? Because I'm sick, today I didn't go to work. Right? So here is the example where you have only 因为, right? So you use 因为 individually. Because I'm sick, today I didn't go to work, right? Last one, 我没去过他家，所以让他来车站接我。我没去过他家 I have never been to his house, right? So 没去过, right? 过. So here again, this thing has never happened in my life. So I have never been to his house. So, 所以 so I ask him to pick me up, right? 接我 pick me up from the 车站 is what? Station, right? Station. Okay, so here is the example of using so, 所以 individually, right? So both of these three, either together as a pair, or you only use 因为, or you only use 所以 are all acceptable, right? They're all correct. They all have this meaning of expressing cause and effect, right? Okay, so that's everything about part 1 of lesson 4. As you know, my mission is to make this HSK Marathon project free and accessible for everyone. So if you found value in my videos and truly want to master what you've learned today, the best way is to pick up my ultimate HSK Companion Workbook. I've designed it following 4 scientifically efficient steps: active recall for vocabularies, formula blocks for grammar, a smart writing section to break down characters for you, and most importantly, high-quality practice questions with detailed explanations to give you instant breakthrough. Grab your copy from the description below. Thank you so much for your support, and I'll see you in the next lesson.